Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pre-event press conference here at COTA for the 4th edition of the 6 Hours of the Circuit of Americas and the 6th round of the 2016 FIA World Endurance Championship. We've got our panel of Benoit Trellier from Audi Sport Team Joest, Anthony Davidson from Toyota Gazoo Racing, and Gustavo Menezes from Signatech Alpine, Andy Prio from Chip Ganassi Ford, and Ed Brown from Tequila Patron ESM. We're just awaiting Paul Dallalana, who hopefully will join us shortly. So we're going to start with Benoit from left to right. Benoit, it's great to see you back where you belong, in the cockpit of the Audi R18. First of all, tell us how that free practice was on you physically and how you were comfortable in the car.
I have to say that physically it was really perfect. I feel like nothing happened, and I could drive okay today, jump into the car quite easy, no problem to get in and out, so it was really good. Except that I was not driving very well, so I have to get back into into a move. Yeah, the car seems to be okay. We still have to do some adjustment, but I'm really happy to be back in the car and ready for the race.
We saw at Mexico, Benoit, where you were a spectator effectively, but having input into the team, how close it was between Audi and Porsche. Is that something you're expecting again? Free practice one indicates that it probably will be this weekend.
Yeah, it seems to be very close again, and we improved our car, and so we hope that we can be in front of Porsche this time. And but we are working really hard for that. The team did a really great job in between the two races, even if it was really short time. And we're expecting a lot. It seems to be okay now. We can still improve the car. I mean, it was not perfect from the first session. It's going to be a good fight for sure.
Thank you, Benoit, and good luck this weekend. Moving over to Anthony, likewise. Anthony, it's great to see you back in the car. How was it? How are you feeling? And do you think you'll be back to your physical perfection this weekend?
Yeah, no, it was good to be back in the car, and yeah, like same as Benoit, really. It's more about getting yourself back up to speed rather than feeling your physical side of things. But yes, it's a great track to come back to. The car feels quite different compared to last year because we made such big improvements to the package. It changes the way you attack the lap round here, and yeah, it's different in the traffic as well. So it's a lot to be learning in FP1, and that's going to continue through the sessions.
Give us an insight what it's like to be at a racetrack but not drive the car. I mean, what do you pick up? I mean, were there new things that you were looking at during the race, trends or feedback from the data or speaking to the engineers?
It's not so much data, it's more about the communication in the team. You get to see it from the outside, and you see some things that could be improved. So it was good in many ways, but yeah, it was more frustrating just not to be driving the car, especially when you were almost ready physically to drive. Rib pain is one of those things that takes a long time to heal, and yeah, if I'm honest, I can still just about feel it here. So it's not perfect, but it's drivable. So I'll be able to get through the rest of the weekend here. But yeah, in Mexico it was just a bit too painful to drive, really, and I had to make the decision not to participate so that I could be in a better shape for this race where you really need 3 drivers.
Thank you very much, Anthony, and all the best for this weekend. Moving over to our LMP2 standings leader, Gustavo Menezes on home ground this weekend. Gustavo, and what a season you're having. I mean, you've got 3 victories, the big one at Le Mans, a solid second in Mexico, a good points lead in the championship. Just give us a summary of your first full season in LMP2 in the WEC this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's all planned out and panned perfectly. I mean, none of us could ever imagine it would end up being as good as it's been so far. Obviously the team's done a fantastic job all season, as well as my teammates Nico and Stefan. So getting the win in Le Mans and 3 in a row, and then going to Mexico and continuing the pace was really good. And bringing now the race to home turf, it's nice to be able to race at home. After racing several years in F3, haven't really had the opportunity to compete in the US, so doing this is great. And again, the car's been great, the team's been great, and I've absolutely loved the championship. The chaos and the drama and the fun, racing with several categories, and the professionalism of the series, it's fantastic, and it's something I'm really enjoying to be a part of.
And how do you read the championship at the minute? You've got a healthy points lead, as I mentioned. Is that something that the team are looking at and strategizing towards the last 4 races?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know when you've got an advantage that we have, we cannot take silly risks. But at the same time, I think anyone that ever shifts their mentality too much to the conservative mindset, you start competing on your back foot. So I think we have to keep our heads down and continue to do what we've done all season. Obviously, if the risks are too big, that's when the team has obviously said to take care and be responsible. But at the same time, we're here to win, and we have to continue to do so.
Thank you, Gus, and good luck this weekend on home soil. And moving over to Andy Prio. Andy, you've had some fairly poor luck so far this year. It's a bit of an understatement, but tell us how you're regrouping in car 66 and how you're looking forward to this weekend at COTA.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely been some ups and downs. We were pretty strong at the beginning of the year, and of course Le Mans with the gearbox issue right before the start of the race, that was a tough blow. Of course with the double points as well for Le Mans, that always hurts. But we've had a really good strong performance in the car, and Mexico for me it was a shame we didn't get a better result, because I think we were faultless as a team. We were fast enough to be on the podium, I think. And it didn't happen, but at the moment I think we're moving forward in the right direction all the time. The team is definitely absolutely where it needs to be, and we just need a little bit of luck to come our way. I think if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all right now, but it will turn around, and you can only concentrate on your job, and we're very happy with the way things are going for this weekend. The car looks relatively quick right now, so hopefully we can carry that through to the race and have a faultless race. These races are 6 hours, but they're really tough, and the racing's very pure. So you have a small mistake, whether you lose maybe 1 or 2 seconds in the pits, you spend what seems to be a whole afternoon trying to get that back. So it's good, but you need to have a lot of luck to also to win. So I think we just need to keep doing what we're doing, and sooner or later we'll have our moment.
Now you know this track intimately, of course, but many people here won't know that you were the driver in residence here for a while. First of all, tell us about that, but also about representing Ford in their backyard in the US of A.
Yeah, so 2 years ago when I drove here in the IMSA, I had a little issue with my visa, and it meant that I couldn't leave the country. So I got an RV, bought an RV and cruised around and lived the American dream. And we tested here about 3 weeks before the race, and I literally lived on the back straight in my RV with my family, and the kids were playing around there, and so we had some fun memories of this town. And it was being here on the back straight. Every time I drive down there, I keep thinking my family is still there, so Pikey Prio moved in for 3 weeks, and yeah, but no, I mean it's a lovely place, Austin, love it. So I wouldn't say it was a hardship having to spend 3 weeks here. But no, and obviously representing Ford here as well, coming back to the US and representing the Ford team with both IMSA cars and also our cars is a big thing for us, and obviously would be nice to have a great result for them. Obviously we haven't quite stood on the top step yet, so we need to try and make that happen here in front of all the Ford guys. I think they'd like that a lot, but I'm sure that won't make us any faster. We just got to do our job and see where we end up.
Thank you, Andy, and all the best for the weekend.
Cheers.
Moving over to Ed. Ed, in a way, a second home race in as many weeks. Mexico, in so many ways, is an important race for you, and here you are at COTA, the third consecutive year that you've raced in the WEC here. How much are you looking forward to racing at this challenging track and fighting for positions in P2?
And I went to school here, so I love this place. It's a little hotter than I remember, but no, this place has been good to us. 2 of the 3 times we've raced here, we've been on the podium. So I think it's a tough fight this year against the Orcas, but we know this track very well, and the P2 racing this year has just been unbelievable, and it's been a fight every race. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
And the level in LMP2 this year seems to have gone up another notch. I mean, it's ferocious battling throughout the field. Your opinion and summary of the P2 class in WEC this year?
Yeah, we don't have enough time to go through all that, but the competition's unbelievable, and the level of the teams and the level of the drivers, even where it came from last year is remarkable, but it's great racing, and it's the fans should appreciate what they've got. It's a really good racing.
Thank you, Ed, and all the best for the weekend ahead. Moving over to Paul Dalla Lana from Aston Martin Racing. Paul, I guess again the closest you come to a home race here at COTA. I know you enjoy racing at this track. Tell us about the challenge in LMGTE and the competition so far this year for you.
Sure, as well. I think just as I said and others, the competition throughout the paddock is fierce, and in our category it's been, really tight. I think we've had a super tough championship. We've got taken out in a couple races, so it makes us sort of on the outside looking in right now. But I guess it makes the next few races really interesting because we're here to win, and the team has had some luck here. We won in 2014, I guess. So that was the last time we were on the top step, and I've won a couple times in Rolex and Continental as well. So I feel like I know the track, although every time we go around out there, it's a tough circuit. It's got that great combination of fast and technical bits, and obviously it just seems to bunch up at all the wrong times. So interesting, interesting circuit. So really looking forward to the weekend.